Eden Utilities can help your organisation to convert the energy it uses every day into a more sustainable source of supply. We are a professional, totally independent but friendly utility consultancy that can offer any organisation a way of converting its own waste into energy. This provides a number of beneficial rewards. So, if you already recycle items like plastics and paper, you could now use the rest of the waste your business creates to generate power for use back into your organisation. If you don't do any recycling yet, you could start now, without the need for any additional effort or large investment in time or cash to accommodate the initiative. Our Eden Infinity product provides your business with a way of not only helping the planet, but also saving you money. Your business creates waste. That waste is collected, and then we work with your energy supplier to ensure that the power generated from your waste is used to supply electricity back to you. In doing something like this, along with doing your bit to help save the planet and meeting your business's green targets, it provides great PR for your organisation, sending a very positive message to your suppliers, clients and stakeholders. It's something to be very proud of. At Eden Utilities, we pride ourselves on being unique with our continuous innovation, along with our ethos of providing a fully transparent pricing model to all our clients. Our personable approach means we always work with you to find the best for you. We regard ourselves as an extension of your business, a partner. Eden Utilities, your sustainability partner.
Hey up! It's grim up north, it's been lashing down. So grab a brew and settle down. It's episode 12, A Talk at Town. Yes, hello and welcome to Harrogate and welcome to the Environment Stadium where the Reds will play for the first time here in League 2 action at 3 p.m. Of course, you can follow the action from your living rooms by £10 for iFollow. Obviously, all supporters home, season tickets will have to pay that £10 fee. I think everybody here really wants to make a point that it's actually really sad today in particular. I think there's been a lot of stuff on social media about how sad it is that actually you, the Reds fans, can't be here for a new ground and watching a different opposition. So everyone's feeling that. But hopefully here, the Talk of the Town team can bring you as close to the action as you possibly can be. We're able to do that due to our main sponsors of the show, the filming company. Huge thanks to Nick and Morgan, who have supported the show and sponsored this show once again. So a huge thank you to them. We appreciate their support and hopefully it'll be another good show that they put on this afternoon. Another thanks also to our sponsors, Ryan Vehicles, who have provided the vehicles for us to get here today, bringing up the whole team. So a huge thank you to them for supporting the show by putting on that vehicle. If you need a vehicle of any sort, leasing, buying, anything to do with vehicles, please do get in touch with Keith and his team at Ryan Cancer Club. Obviously, you can support the club by buying yourself ballers. We say it every week, I know, but we are doing that incredible deal of a burger, chips and a drink for just £5 at the clubs. If you can get down to the People's Pension Stadium, do so. Grab that great value for just a £5. If you can't, of course, you can order and Just Eat, Uber Eats, as always. So support the club, support your stomach and your taste buds by grabbing yourself a ballers this afternoon. Loads going on in the show today, a packed full of show. I'm going to try and cram it in before the kick-off. We'll make sure we get done. No one wants to hear from me from 3 o'clock. Coming up, we've got an interview with Verdon, which we've done, another pitch-side interview with him. The manager, John Yems, will be over once again. We might have a chat with the legendary Travel Ken. Gary Smith will also be coming by as well. And of course, we've got loads of highlights from the last week. We'll bring you talkie highlights from last week later on. But let's start by looking at Tuesday night's win at home to Ipswich in the Papa John's Trophy.
Well, Crawley have already lost their first 2 games in this group, so really tonight just an opportunity for these players to put on a performance, to try to impress, so that maybe they can feature in the first team on a more regular basis. Here goes German through the middle. German with the drive. Well, wanted the foul with the tug from behind. Ryan Dabber didn't quite get it, and equally didn't get the connection on the ball here that he would have hoped for. Plenty of new faces tonight in this Ipswich lineup. Debuts for Ando and Crow. Crawley, opportunity to deliver. It's a good ball and a fine header into the ground by Galak to make it 1-0. Well, he's certainly not the biggest inside that penalty area, but he made his presence felt with the finish. Young Polish striker here, just hanging on the back of the last defender. What a fine delivery this was. Powerful header into the ground. It's a textbook finish from Brian Galak to make it Crawley 1, Ipswich 0. Well, it will be interesting to see how this young side respond, having gone 1 behind here. Give the ball away in a dangerous area. There might be a chance here for the break for Crawley. Plenty of red shirts heading through on goal. Rakia caught in 2 minds there. Had a couple of options racing through the middle, but could possibly have hit this.
Right, okay, let's give you that team news. Here, I've got Sam who's joined me to bring you the team news. So you've been dragged in at the last minute there. You weren't expecting it, Sam.
I'm only over there, it's just all right.
You'll be fine, you'll be fine. So that team news this afternoon: in goal is Stuart Nelson, Alfie Davis, Joe McNerney comes in for Jordan Tunnicliffe, Tony Craig and Josh Doherty make up the back line. Ashley Naderson, Jack Powell, Jake Hessenthaler and Taryn Alarakia, with Max Watters and Tom Nichols. On the bench, Glenn Morris is on the bench, he returns. Tom Dallison, Manny Adebowale, David Cisse, Tyler Frost, Sam Ashford and Brian Gallack. So Sam there, obviously just looking at that team, starting to be hit by a few injuries, aren't we? We're starting to suffer, but I think sure every club is with the long run. Obviously, Joe Mack played on Tuesday night. I didn't actually see the game up here, and he had a good performance. Are you confident he'll come in and fill that void?
Yeah, no, Joe Mack, he's been with us a very long time. He's a very experienced centre-back, and I think at the end of the day, that experience is going to bring him through these games. I think he's a really good centre-back, and it is a shame for Jordan, because I was speaking to Jordan yesterday, and it's his first game he's ever missed for Crawley since coming here. He's played every single 90 minutes since being here, and this is the first game he's missed.
And I know that even stretches back beyond Crawley when he was at final. I think even his previous club, he was saying that he's not missed the league game, but obviously not a lot we can do about that injury. We wish him a speedy recovery. One other thing that really sort of highlighted to me in this side is that there's sort of the three goal scorers really. You've got Ashley Naderson, Tom Nichols, Max Watters, three people who are sort of, okay, maybe not even say they're proven at this level, but certainly over the last few weeks they've proved themselves to be capable of scoring goals. Do you expect this like quite attacking lineup? Do you expect to see goals in this afternoon? Yeah,
I think so. I think obviously Tom Nichols last week, you got a hat trick. As you say, Watters and Naderson both got the score sheet. I think the way that John's lined up is clearly to go and score goals there. I think that's what we're going to try and do.
And I suppose there could be some concern, like you're looking at, you got Stuart Nelson hasn't played many games for us. Alfie Davis, Archie Davis, has only sort of come into the squad in recent weeks. Joe McNerney, from having a really settled side at the start of the season and a very settled back line, all of a sudden it's starting to be a bit disrupted, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I think you're right in that sense, but I think obviously I go to training quite a lot. And,
Thank you.
Oh, we've got a team sheet, special delivery.
Hey, we're bringing you hot off the press before the team sheet even
Still
arrived.
Warm. Yeah. No, I think from going to training quite a lot, the lads are so tight knit, and it's not just the first team lads train away from the the people maybe on the bench or that aren't getting as many minutes. Everybody's training together. Everybody knows how each other plays, and obviously Archie's been in for the last few weeks and he's done really well.
Brilliant. And one person we did talk about there was Tom Nichols. Obviously a hat-trick hero in the FA Cup last week. Sam caught up with Tom earlier in the week for a chat about his life and start at Crawley.
And I'm back with Tom Nichols, regular feature on the show. I think you are, aren't you? Anyway, we're back. Obviously, congratulations. You've been named FA Cup first round player of the round. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's a nice award, nice achievement. Personally, crazy game, and it was thank you to everyone who voted. But yeah, it's a nice feeling.
Yeah, obviously the fans really got behind you, and I think not just the fans, but everyone around the UK, because obviously 3 goals and 2 assists doesn't really go unmissed.
Yeah, I mean, did have quite a good game, and yeah, I appreciate the votes, and because I think you get a trophy, so that'd be nice just to keep and stick on the mantelpiece, as you say.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to have a little chat about the goals. Obviously, first of all, penalty, nice little cut inside from Nadders, and then penalty. Are you the designated penalty taker for the team?
Yeah, we did a meeting the other day, and we were going through some stuff, and Brad has said that I'll be on them if we get them. So, which sort of just takes the argument side of things away from it, because I'm sure we've got very capable takers in the team that would want to take them. So yeah, I made my mind up where I was going to go and just smashed it. Really.
Yeah, smashed it down the middle. I like that. I often find with penalty takers that when someone tries putting a little less power on it in the corner, it always makes me nervous. I do just like it when someone smashes it down the middle.
Yeah, well, the last one I missed, it was a weak penalty. I just thought, I'm not doing that again. I'd rather miss making him make a good save. So yeah, put my foot through it, and thankfully it went in.
Yeah, and obviously second goal, probably not the best goal you've ever scored in your career. A little bit of pinball in the box, but you had a couple of stabs at it and eventually got it in.
Yeah, I thought I'd messed it up because I took a little bit too long, but luckily it rebounded and ricocheted and fell back to me, and like you said, I just prodded it home, and still wasn't totally sure what the score was at that stage. But yeah, we still had a few minutes to go.
Yeah, no, I think that goal probably sums up best the game, just sort of all over the place. But eventually the goals flew in.
Yeah, it was just carnage really. Like the goals scored, 11 goals in a game is unheard of really. It was like a basketball game really, end to end. Great playing as a forward. I'm sure if you asked Tony and Tunny, they wouldn't have enjoyed playing in it as much. No. Well, Tunny might have because he scored the equaliser, but yeah, it was just a a crazy game. Really.
Yeah, and then obviously the equaliser for 5-5. Probably one of the best headers I think I've ever seen on a football pitch. How the hell did you manage to steer that one in?
I don't know. I just saw the cross and I just timed it well. One of those things. Everything I did seemed to be right in place. The time in the jump and then the header, thankfully, went in. Really. So yeah, I've scored a couple this year, but I don't usually score that many headers. So it's definitely something I need to carry on working on.
No, yeah, I think there's 3 headers for you so far, obviously, and don't really score a lot of headers in this team, but you seem to be plodding a few in.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've only scored 3 in my career before this. So yeah, it's nice that because you can score a lot of goals with headers. So it was definitely something I needed to improve on, and I just need to keep trying to find the back of the net with it, really.
Yeah, and obviously it wasn't just goals you were putting in. A couple of assists for you. The one I want to talk about mainly is that one for Nadders. Unbelievable technique on that little half-side volley.
Yeah, it was. It just set up really nicely, and it was really late in the game, and I thought I'm not going to dribble with it. I'm going to try it. It was just sort of instinct, really. Probably with how the game was going, having scored the 3 goals just takes the pressure off, really. And I just saw him going through on goal, and I thought they're not going to catch him if I can get this right. And it was a great touch and a great finish, though.
You did well.
It was a great. I did half of it, but he still had a lot to do. So it was a great goal from Nadders, and because if he misses, then the pass no one talks about. So he's helped me out by finishing it, really.
Yeah, and obviously I understand that was your first career hat trick.
It was, yeah. I've had a few 2s, but never managed a 3. I remember I missed a sitter years ago on a hat trick, and I've never forgot that. But yeah, really nice to get the hat trick and keep the match ball as a bit of memorabilia.
Yeah, I saw that was one of your first priorities at the full-time whistle. Go and find that match ball, and obviously you got it signed. You had it in your interview post-game as well.
Yeah, slept with it as well. I had it in the car. Yeah, but no, it was nice. The linesman wasn't too sure if he wanted to give it to me for some reason, so I had to go and get that off him. But yeah, I got all the boys to sign it, and that was nice of them. And yeah, I'll keep that one.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm sure the gaffer will say he had a lot to do with that hat trick. Did he say anything to you during the game or at half time?
To be honest, he says to me before every game, "You're going to walk away with a match ball today." And he means it when he says it. I can see it. He really means it. And luckily, was it about 15 games in? It's happened. So yeah, it does. He'll say he saw it come in, which is nice. And yeah, it was a good feeling.
Yeah. And obviously brilliant at the moment for the club, considering we've got you scoring goals, you've got Max scoring goals, Ash scoring goals, and then little Brian scoring goals on Tuesday as well.
Yeah, I mean the forwards are doing well at the moment, which is what you need. If we want to do well this season, we need everyone. You can't just rely on one player. But we're sharing the goals out really well, and things are good when your team's firing. It does. That's what you want, really. I'm sure the fans are enjoying watching that as well.
Yeah. And obviously looking forward to the second round. We've got a potentially tough trip away to Barrow or Wimbledon, but 2 good games, 2 winnable games.
Definitely 2 winnable games. Geographically, Wimbledon will be a lot nicer.
A lot nicer, especially on a Sunday.
But if we've got to go to Barrow, we do. But like you said, 2 winnable games, and we'll look forward to whoever we play with.
Thanks, Tom. I think that's about all we've got time for. Once again, congratulations on your award.
Thank you.
And I'm sure we'll probably see you back on the show sometime soon.
Yeah.
Cheers,
mate.
I'm joined now by the manager, John. Thank you very much for joining us again.
Thank you very much for asking me yet again.
Yeah, again. Well, thought we better get you on.
Yeah.
Safe trip up last night? Long way?
No, good trip, nice hotel. Bit funny when you walk around and there's nobody around.
Yeah.
That's the world, isn't it, in a minute?
We found it, we got up here early on and when people needed the toilet, they've got nowhere to go because everywhere's shut.
Just quiet as a Chelsea home game.
Anyway, more importantly, the football. Obviously last week was absolutely crazy. And that sort of off the field and on social media, things like that, it almost carried on all week, didn't it? Like the hype around the game. Was it important for you that Monday or Tuesday back in training, whenever, it was like back to business and that was gone?
Not really, because you say you've got to enjoy your victories, but as long as you don't take your mind off for the next game, which we don't, the lads, they worked hard for it. It's not like you're giving it to you, so why not enjoy it? And as I say to you, it's a pity the fans ain't about it, because they might still been talking about it at work and what have you.
Yeah.
But no, listen, onwards and upwards, mate. You get enough bad results, so enjoy the good ones.
And would you say there's a noticeable increased mood, improved mood in training after the result of that or not?
No, it's been good all season. That's what I'm saying to you. It's just, I think what it did do, it's just surprised other people that you don't give in. I'd like every time people was texting me, oh, you've lost this one, oh, that's another, oh, here we go. All of a sudden, it's the other way, because, you know, you keep going and you score in the last minute or whatever it was. That's what you've got to do, first and last minute.
And I know I saw you. It's something you've talked about a lot on the show about how the minimum you expect is graft and spirit, and that's a given in your side.
It is.
I said to you after the game, oh, the spirit was Sam, and you said off there. It's not something you just say for the camera. It's something you mean, and it's something that goes through.
That's what you got to have. That's on the basis of that you do all the other stuff. If you haven't got that and you've got all the skill and you're not applying yourself, well, ain't going to happen, is it? So we've got to make sure it happens.
And obviously, we followed that game up on Tuesday night. Obviously, we didn't play many of the regular starters in that game, but a chance to see other people come in and perform quite well.
Yeah, we got another game Tuesday as well. So that'll give you boys that ain't playing. As I keep saying to people, everybody's used. Everybody has to be available and fit enough to come on and do a job. And I think that was apparent in the cup game, and it was apparent Tuesday that, you know, you got young Raf and Brian up front and all the boys that come in, Dallo, a lot of them, they've got to use that to get in the eye line again and get themselves back in the team.
And I suppose we're seeing that today as well. Obviously, Jordan Tunnicliffe not here, but Joe McNerney comes in, hasn't started many games, but you're confident he'll be able to slide in, and he's a pro.
Yeah, of course. You know, that's what I'm saying to you. I think that was apparent Tuesday. No, listen, you've got to have confidence. I've got confidence in all the lads. They're all dying to get in the team. That's the difference. They're not hiding. They all want to get in the team.
Yeah, one thing I'm seeing after the side has just been announced. Today, Ashley Addison starts, Tom Nichols starts, Max Watters starts. People excited that there seems to be a lot of goals in this side here today. Is that intentional? Is that a plan?
Yeah. Well, if you don't score, you don't win, do you? So, yeah, we want as many people on there that can score, providing we do all the other bits and pieces. You know, it's not just all about scoring. We've got to defend well, we've got to work hard, and we've got to create the chances. On the back of that, if you know, you look at it and you think, if they was playing in the other side, would you fancy playing against them? No, not really. But then they've got to do that. They've got to go out and keep progressing, and that's what it's all about.
And just briefly before we come on air, we was talking about how the pitch was laid very quickly. Wasn't it? Harrogate was almost like popped, a bit like Salford in a way. We almost had to pop up a club to fit this level.
Yeah.
It's an interesting pitch. You're saying it's been laid over the top. Could that play a part, or actually?
Yeah, no, it seems pretty rock hard. It's not, it's a decent pitch. It's a grass, as much as we know. It's just like playing on top of a greengrocer's thing. You know, it's not obviously solid grass, or I'm not technical enough to know the words, but I think they've laid over their pitch.
Yeah, so it's quite firm.
Firm as anything, yeah.
But then if the rain comes in, we'll
see mate, we'll get the water wings out and hope for the best.
John, thank you very much for joining us once again. Good luck this afternoon.
Thank you.
Earlier on in the week, I caught up with Erdem Konya, technical director, for a little walk around the pitch to talk about football in general and the week. Thanks for joining us on the walk once again.
Why not?
Back by popular demand. We're 11 games into the league season. What have you made of it so far?
I think it's been an exciting start to the season. We've shown a sincere camaraderie. There's a good togetherness. I genuinely believe that we're game for anyone. The new boys have come in. They've settled really well. It looks like a settled team. I just hope we can get the continuity. Just to reflect on the last few weeks, even though Torquay was fantastic, we've been a little bit unfortunate with a few injuries and suspensions, which I think it hurt the Walsall game a little bit because Jake Eskiff's just getting into match fitness. So I feel like we lost the game because of that, but we lost a little bit of our sharpness.
Yeah.
And the games are coming thick and fast, but no excuses. We're game, and we have to go into Harrogate with the same attitude and application as we have in every game.
I think every team now is they've had a hard run of fixtures.
True.
And you sense that starting to take its toll on our squad, as you say, with the injuries. Also had a bit of bad luck. For example, Tom McGill's injury
very unlucky,
at the weekend. That's not about fatigue. That's just pure bad luck. Do you think it's going to be this stage of the season? Do you think this is going to be where, not necessarily where the league is won or lost, because that will happen towards the end of the season, but where some teams will start to thrive and push on, and others will start to fall away? Maybe they've had a good start, but they'll start to fall away.
Well, in my 5 years here, I've seen teams like Plymouth and Exeter when in October, November, previously they've been in the relegation zone or near there, and then suddenly they've kicked on and gone to the playoffs or gone up directly. So it's a time where you can rack up the form, but I think the games are coming so thick and fast that that used to be at this point in the season, whereas now the whole season's moving in that way.
Yeah.
So the most important thing is then we can't think that team's easy, that team's hard. Every game is tough. And we have to go into every game with the same fight, same spirit, same camaraderie, and hopefully we come out with it.
It's cliche, but yeah, every game is tough, I suppose, and that was shown sort of no more than like Southend, for example,
Yeah,
who a
good
few
point.
people were saying, oh yeah, well, we'll roll them over. Actually, they come here, played quite well, and we ended up with a draw. Maybe we weren't 100% on the day. There is no other team in this league where you'd go, we'll beat them nailed on. Do you know? Is it?
I think it's a fantastic. I think you're spot on. I think Southend was missed 2 points. We could have got the 3 there. However, the good thing to come out of that is the way we've reacted from it. We didn't get into a lull. We carried on. We've responded well. I think we responded with 2-4-0 straight away at home after those games. So straight away we showed a great resistance and showed that we do mean business. And I think that's once again underlines the character of the squad.
And looking at sort of the Saturday just gone, an absolute mental game of football.
Can't believe it.
But ultimately, someone said to me, ultimately all that matters is it doesn't matter how the game goes, just get in the hat for the next round. We are in the hat for the next round. We obviously play Barrow and Wimbledon, or Barrow or Wimbledon. How important is the cup this year with no fans and with the financial pressures on all clubs? How important could that money be to us?
I think it's a bit of a funny one because the money can be fantastic purely because, the money's even more important now. Unfortunately, if we don't have crowds in and you get a Premier League side, the amount of money you're making is diminishing compared to what it would be with the fans. So it is important because of the financial crisis that
any money is good money.
I mean that's the way it is. However, unfortunately, the prize is significantly reduced if the fans are not there. That's the problem. But double again, it's very, very important. It's very important.
And obviously, we're filming this on the Friday, so we're away to Harrogate tomorrow. People watching will be seeing the game coming up. Our thousands of viewers, of course, will be watching the game later on. Our away form, for a year or so, it seems to have become a thing. I don't know how, I don't know why. Obviously, we have won away at Oldham this year. We won away at Torquay, albeit in the Cup last weekend. Is there anything we can do with that, or is it just a case of plugging away and keep going?
I genuinely think that since the MZ's come in, our away form has changed. In this sense, where the way we're playing and we're applying ourselves has drastically improved.
Yeah.
So even if you look at the Walsall game, we've hit the post twice. It's not like we've gone there and we've been turned over.
We weren't necessarily poor, it just didn't come out.
The Exeter game, we could have been 5-0 up in the first half. So the team, I think the team's getting there. Sometimes it's a little bit of luck, but at the end of the day, I think the away hoodoo's gone there because we beat Oldham away, and I reckon we are going to get much more points away this season than last season. I think the team's together. I think there's a big unity, and I don't see the away form as a hoodoo anymore. I just see it as it's now we've broken the devil's leg. Like we're going to carry on going, and we're going to get points away. Hopefully, starting at Harrogate.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
And then we lose 4-0 tomorrow. And
You
look like a right lemon again.
Hopefully that won't happen.
No.
Looking at football as a whole, there was talk yesterday afternoon and this morning about League One and League Two clubs being able to get that money from the Football League, from the Premier League. Championship clubs have. I heard Mark Catlin from Portsmouth on the radio earlier on saying that the Championship have said, look, League One and League Two, sort them out, we'll do our own thing with the Premier League. How important is that money going to be for all clubs and us and our club in particular as well?
Yeah, I mean that money is significant. If you look at, we look at the figures and we're approximately looking at and estimating figures. But roughly, probably together, we can say we've lost around 600-700 grand this year. Probably around. I mean, at most, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money to lose already on an existing deficit. That means that the whole you've got is around 1.5 million for 1 year just to get a League Two club running. At Crawley, I'm talking about. Now, obviously, Bradford are probably losing millions this year.
Yeah.
However, they were making millions before, whereas we never were. So I don't know what they're. I mean, this is. It's like you're in intensive care and we're still on the machine and in a way that will help us get out onto a hospital bed as an analogy. So hopefully the most important thing is this is needed. Hopefully the package will come very soon, and then we can start looking and restructuring all our finances. Once again, thank you to the chairman for consistently supporting us. As you know, we've had no wage deferrals. We haven't cut anyone's wages, which has been fantastic. And
even people on furlough have been receiving 100%.
Yes, and we have to look after everyone because these people have been here for a long time and they are the core of the club, including all the players, the staff. And thank you to the fans once again supporting us through thick and thin, be it the Reds Wolves season ticket, sponsorship. So that's fantastic work once again. Well done, mate.
yeah, I can't take a lot of the credit, I'm afraid, but I'd love to, obviously. And looking at football in general, sort of, there's been obviously Greg Clark sort of put his foot in his mouth in Parliament in this week. And how do you think? What do you foresee for football? For the rest of this season in terms of getting fans back in, and also beyond. Do you think this is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back in terms of changing football?
I think it's a game changer, definitely, because it's highlighted the difficulties of running a lower league club. But the lower league clubs are very important for the local communities, because I think we look after, like, well, when you travel all around England, you see how important the clubs are to the local communities. So therefore, I think there has to be more impetus, more focus on how these clubs can be looked after, maintained better, possibly more revenue shown towards them. So hopefully, this is very important for us. It's an important time. Hopefully, we're going to get out through the other end. But I've got a feeling we're coming stronger because we've built a lot. Like, even if it wasn't COVID, I mean, I know that COVID has been it's a global pandemic, right? But at the end of the day, I think like we're coming through it. We've got a lot of, and being selfish, we've got a lot of youth players coming through. We've still protected our philosophy. We haven't sacrificed. We have sacrificed on the budgets, but we haven't sacrificed on the intention or the philosophy or the route ahead. You know, and I think, going back to you, and I've gone on a tangent here, but I do believe once again it is going to be a game changer for the future of football. Maybe more money, television money, maybe more live games, maybe more coverage in the future. Yeah, it should be the way forward, really.
Yeah, I suppose there's always been a big argument. I've been sat in the Football League meetings with the argument had taken place with should clubs be able to stream all of their games in the UK? Obviously, we do abroad at the moment anyway.
Yeah.
What do you think on that? Because obviously there are arguments to say, well, actually, less fans will come to the ground because they'll watch it on the telly. But equally, I suppose the telly opens, especially away from home, opens it to a wider audience.
Look, first and foremost, I think we need the fans back in anyway, because it's not the same without them. Even in the game, I'm the loudest guy in the stadium, you know, it's great to have the fans back. You got those connections. We need them because I'm scared of fans diminishing. So, on the stream sense, I think the streams should be available to everyone and globally because it can increase your supporter base. It gives you a chance to market in a different way. It's not all about catchment areas. It's all about trying to. That's why this is so important, because people can see what we're doing. You know, I mean, when we go to all the other League 2 clubs, you don't see something like this happening. So it's a way of interacting, keeping the people interested, and also people want to know about their club, what's going on, and it's about keeping the fans in the loop.
I suppose most clubs aren't fortunate enough to have a charismatic and good-looking person to present the show.
Gosh, no.
Adam, thank you very much for joining us on our walk. Ended nicely on the by the dugout.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I know people seem to enjoy these walks, so thank you for joining us. Cheers.
Thank you.
BBC Radio Sussex commentator Gary Smith joins me now. Gary, not been on the show did I get the intro right this
Absolutely
week? I
correct,
panicked.
well
I didn't plan that, and I just panicked as I was saying it.
Very
That's
good.
good. I've been practicing at home in the front of the mirror. Obviously, not joined us for a few weeks.
No. Had a couple of weeks off.
The job, the day job, has been taking up too much time.
Yeah.
So last week, obviously, Torquay, absolute crazy game. I know your commentary's been going all over the place.
Yeah.
Firstly, have you ever seen anything like it?
No, never. It was just a fairly quiet afternoon in Devon, wasn't it? Not a lot going on, really. I've never seen anything like it as a fan or a commentator, Joe, to be honest. And I think, when it was 2-0 to Torquay at the break, at half-time in normal time, you thought Crawley might have a chance if they got one back early, but the longer the game went, obviously then we had their horrific injury to Tom McGill, and we wished him well for a speedy recovery. But no, never seen anything like it. It was like someone said to me afterwards, it was like a game of basketball. One team went and scored, the other team went back and scored, and it was almost like you think back to the Newcastle days under Kevin Keegan, it's like, well, if you're going to score 5, we're going to score 6 then to win the game. You know, it was just crazy, absolutely crazy.
And obviously, but it sounds like good with Tom. He's got to have I think it's 16 or 17 days that you have to recover.
Okay.
You're not allowed to train and play with after concussion. But actually, no serious long-term injury. So that's good news. Do you think actually that almost changed the game, that little period of time, in a warped sort of way? It took 20 minutes, we were 2-0 down, but after that we seemed to come on strong and build a bit of momentum.
Yeah, I mean, we said in the commentary that when it's 2-0, the next goal is always going to be important if there is a next goal. If Torquay had gone 3-0 in front, I think it really would have been game over. I couldn't see Crawley getting back into that one because we know the problems they have on the road. For Crawley to get the next goal was vital, I think. It took a long while, obviously, and then it came from the penalty. Nadesan going over, Nichols absolutely burying the penalty. But yeah, perversely, I suppose, you could be right that it gave Crawley a chance to regroup just the way half-time had done, because it occurred early in the second half, didn't it, the injury? And it gave them a little chance to regroup. And I think John switched a couple of little bits and pieces around, either at half-time or in that, that little gap that they had there. And looking back on it now, anything tactical that was changed obviously worked.
Yeah, absolutely. Luckily for us. One negative that come out of last week was we did pick up a few injuries, didn't we? Obviously the Tom McGill injury, which we spoke about, and Jordan Tunnicliffe obviously not here today. This, for a few weeks we had a settled side, didn't we? It was almost like it's very similar 11, maybe one change here or there, but this week there's a few players who maybe haven't featured as much. Archie Davis has come in, whereas George Franken was there, and today Joe McNerney comes in, and Taran Alaraki is in today. The two wide men have changed with Nadesan. Do you think that's going to almost take us back to the start, where we've got to get used to playing together again? Is it almost like a different side, or do you expect them just to slot in?
To a point. I mean, you would hope that obviously where they've been training, and Joe McNerney played 90 minutes on Tuesday night against Ipswich, captained the side, very, very capable central defender as we've seen before. Tom Dallison on the bench as well today. I think it would just be an opportunity for Joe to slot straight in. Taran, I think, made quite a big difference, quite a big impact when he came on as a sub last week at Torquay. No surprise really to see him come into the starting 11 today, albeit because of some potential injuries, I guess. But you can see from what he did last week, and when he was a regular in the side for a few games, 5 or 6 games ago, that he's got the ability to change things. And I think the potential change in formation as well today might help Crawley.
Yeah, as well. Fingers crossed. And looking at our opposition today, someone we've not faced before.
No.
I personally am not very familiar with them as a club or them as a side. What do you know about Harrogate? What are you expecting?
Not a great deal. I mean, up from the National League obviously last year. They've got a little bit of money behind them, I'm led to believe, the chairman, and it's his son who's the manager. Simon Weaver is the son.
And I was told earlier on, apparently he's not here today. I'm not sure whether that's true. It's a rumour that's circulating around, and I'm told he's self-isolating. So
really?
Apparently so.
Okay, manage him from distance. From
a
good social distance. They obviously worked very hard to get themselves out of the National League. They got themselves into the Football League. They've made a relatively solid start. I'm sure they will be quite happy sitting sort of mid-table at the moment. But today, if they get the 3 points, they leapfrog over Crawley, don't they? And they'll be looking to push forward. They had a great win on the opening day of the season. They won 4-0 away at Southend United. I think any team that comes in from the National League wants to make their mark and show that they're deserving and good enough to be a Football League side. They've obviously made some signings in the summer as well. They've got the likes of Jack Muldoon up front, who's a very, very capable player. They've got some other experienced players around the squad as well. So, I think for them this season, it'll be one of consolidation, pushing towards that top half. If you want a stat about Harrogate Town, Joe, which I know you love, 62% of their goals are scored in the first half of the game. Okay. So if Crawley gets to half-time with a clean sheet, potentially might get to full time with a clean. But I don't want to put a block on it or anything like that today.
Chance. It's an interesting point, like you said about obviously Harrogate coming up. Harrogate and Barrow come up last year. Barrow stormed the league, didn't they?
Yeah.
Normally, I think years ago, and when we come up from what was the conference at the time, teams almost went either straight through League Two or were certainly at the top end. It was almost like the top end of the conference was as good, if not better, than the bottom.
Yeah.
This year, Harrogate have had a decent start, but they're only sort of 14th. Barrow are down there. Do you think the league is stronger now with the likes of, you look down the league, there's not many teams there you go, we'll beat them?
No, definitely not. And the makeup of the league is still very tight at the moment, isn't it? Like we said, 3 points for them today. We'll leapfrog over Crawley, who are currently just a couple of points and one place outside the playoffs. I think, in general, in League Two, on their day, any team is capable of beating anybody else. It's just getting that little bit of consistency going. And I think that's difficult at the moment where there's no fans in the ground. I think that really is having an impact. And I think you're seeing from the Premier League all the way down some very strange results. Teams are beating other teams, winning 2 games, losing 1. There's nobody running away with anything at all. So, I think Crawley just need to keep going. I think they will get something out of today's game. I'm going to you know, on air in a minute.
What's your prediction?
Well, I'm going to predict that Crawley are going to win this one by 2-1. My father-in-law says they're going to win 2-0. My daughter this morning before I left home said it was going to be 2-1. She was spot on, wasn't she? The other week at Salford, I think. Oh no, she said
not at Torquay.
I said no. I would have said 6-5 on air though if I can't with you, Joe. But I'm going for 2-1 today to Crawley.
Well, fingers crossed, and it'd be good to sort of really kill off that away. I've spoken about it quite a lot, and it's good to kill that off of a win today. Gary, thank you very much for joining us. I know you're gonna switch with the legendary travel Ken, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
One of our most biggest commercial supporter has been the People's Pension over the last few years, and we want to thank them for their support, and let's see a little bit about what they've got going on over there.
2017, £30 million has been lost to pension scammers. That's about 26,000 Premier League season tickets. During these uncertain times, it's more important than ever to defend your hard-earned money. Be on the ball to anyone contacting you out of the blue. Find out more about pension scams and how to avoid them by visiting our website.
I am joined by the legendary Travel Ken once again.
Afternoon, Joe.
Once again, travelled with us here to Harrogate to join Gary on the I Follow commentary. I mentioned at the start of the show the sadness of everybody at the club, and I think football in general, about how fans can't get into the grounds. Obviously, hopefully there's no sign of it happening very shortly, but fingers crossed that it happens before the end of the season. You never know. But one thing we wanted to do today, given that Harrogate's a new ground, we wanted to sort of show you around and bring you as much here as we possibly can. Not something we've rehearsed, not something we've ever done before, so it could go completely belly up. But we will have a look. We're pushing Nick from the filming company, seeing how good he goes. So, Ken, firstly, what do you make of the ground?
Yeah, it's not a bad little ground, is it? Obviously, this new stand that we're standing in has taken the capacity from 3,800 up to 5,000. So obviously, it's good to see a different club in the Football League, I think.
Yeah.
You know, they beat Notts County in the playoff final when everyone thought probably County would be the favourites.
Yeah.
But to come to a new ground, isn't it, Joe, for us to visit?
Yeah, that's it.
And as I say, it's quite a nice little ground.
Yeah, absolutely. You said about this stand, obviously it was only built in the summer. I was told, trying to find as much information I can about the ground, I was told that this part of it, I don't know if you can look along, Nick, but so this stand was built or was put up over the summer, which was going to be done regardless. In terms of what else has been done to make it Football League equivalent, if you can look over the far side, if you can pick that up, there's a little seated stand in the corner. That's where the away fans will be housed when they're here, and along the side there will also be for away fans. I'm told at the other end here, come on, Nick, move the camera around, chop. I'm told this end is what they call their cot. So I'm assuming that's where their noise is made. But I mean, and then along just the side here, we've got a little additional terracing.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I would say, it's different to Salford, isn't it? Salford is a ground that was sort of put up quite quickly. This is quite neat, quite tidy, and a bit characteristic.
Yeah, and obviously the pitch as well. It was a 3G pitch last year they played on in the nationwide
National League.
National League, yeah, sorry. And obviously it's only had 5 games on it because they actually put the grass on top of the old pitch.
Yeah, well, I was told that before the game, last year, the day after the playoff final, at 6 a.m. the following day, so they played the playoff final on the Sunday, 6 a.m. on the Monday, they were there digging up the pitch and starting again. And John was saying they laid grass over the top. So I mean, it sounds like it's probably an interesting pitch. Don't know whether the ball will run naturally. Right. I don't know.
Well, obviously it looks okay from here, doesn't it? I mean, you know, looking at the pitch.
But fingers crossed.
Only had 5 games in it so far, so time will only tell, won't it?
Well, John was anticipating a lot of rain during the game, so we'll see how that holds. Ken, looking at today's game, whilst you're here, we'll talk football. What have you made of the last few weeks, and what are you expecting today?
Well, I'm expecting, obviously, get back to business. I mean, business is the league, isn't it? I mean, what we all want to do, all the fans, all the players, I'm sure, is get into League One. It's nice to have a cup run. And after last week's cup game, well, you know, astronomical game, just unbelievable. But obviously now we need to get back to business and get the away form going, as well as the home form. I mean, obviously, unbeaten at 14 months at home or whatever.
It's coming to places like this and picking up points, which is going to make a difference.
That's right, yeah. and if we can start picking up 1 or 3 points from the away games, I'm sure the end of the season we'll be knocking on the playoff doors. I'm sure.
Yeah, and obviously you travelled with Crawley for a number of years, running the travel yourself. It's sad not seeing people here, isn't it?
It is.
Particularly days like today. I've spoken about it a little bit.
Breaks my heart, Joe. There's no one here to see, in a nice little stadium. First time we've ever been here, and we would probably bring 200 or 300, 400 or whatever here. Special game, and there's no one here to see it. And I'll consider myself to be able to work with Gary doing the I follow, to be able to sit and watch the game in the stand. I'll consider myself a very lucky person.
I suppose really lucky that we couldn't find anyone better to do the commentary, Ken. That's how you ended up.
That's about right, Joe.
That's right. You've been eyeing that up for a few years.
That's right. Yeah.
Ken, thank you very much for joining us,
Joe.
legend as always, and we'll enjoy a kernel on the way home.
Yeah, we will do. Yeah.
Obviously, I mentioned earlier on we've seen the Ipswich highlights, but last Sunday was an absolute ridiculous game. I know all the highlights have been all over social media all week, but let's have another look here on Talk of the Town now.
Torquay can be pretty satisfied with the start they'd made, and Crawley playing it around poorly at the back, and this is Aaron Nemain, and surely, yes, he will score. And the non-league side lead. Poor defending by Crawley. Torquay have been buoyed by that Nemain goal. Maybe looking for a second here. This is Ben Whitfield, and they've got the second. 2 goals in 6 minutes for National League club Torquay United against Crawley Town. Well, here Torquay, like a push, goalkeeper committed, and that's a nasty collision. And he looks out there, Tom McGill, the goalkeeper. He looks unconscious. This is a worrying moment. Really worrying moment for Crawley. Game certainly disrupted by a 16-minute delay for McGill's injury, but Crawley coming forward with menace, and they've got a penalty. There's no doubt about that. Referee was right on the spot. From the spot, it's Tom Nichols. It's 2-1. And hope still for Crawley. There'll be an enormous amount of added on time. Okay, looking to clear the lines. A collision between 2 players there, and it could be 2-2, and it is. Been quite a game. Just about everything. Torquay looking to get back in front again. They might just do that, and they have. Josh O'Meara, 18th minute of added on time. And is that the goal that will put Torquay United into round 2? Time running out here for League 2 side Crawley, now or never. Still patient with their passing. It might just happen, and it has! 121st minute, we're going to extra time. Jordan Tunnicliffe, remarkable match. He forward with a little bit of menace here. A little bit untidy, could break here now. Is that a foul? It is. A foul on O'Meara, penalty Torquay. Asa Hall, no mistake, and Torquay back in front at 4-3. Now can they keep the lead this time? Looked like might have been holding there by Hessenthaler, and the referee's given it. Another penalty to Torquay, the Crawley captain. And Hall, once again, no mistake from the spot. 5-3 for the non-league side. Is there any way back for Crawley? Still they're attacking with some vigour here. Torquay struggling to clear their lines. All very untidy in there, and it's turned in. And it's 5-4, Nichols. Crawley still have belief here that they can turn this around. Here comes a gorgeous cross, and Nichols, hat-trick! What a fine header, it's 5-all. Well, who blinks next? in this tremendous first round FA Cup tie, and this could be the winner for Crawley, and it is. What a comeback! Ashley Nadazan, and surely no time for Torquay's recovery. This will live long in the memory, but what a comeback from League Two Crawley. 6-5 they win, a hat-trick for Tom Nichols.
Hey, what a performance last week, and hopefully we'll get a similar performance and a similar result here this afternoon. That is all we've got time for here on episode 12 of Talk of the Town. We will be back next Saturday where the Reds are back at home in our nice warm pod, no coats required. Once again, huge thank you to our sponsors, thank you to the People's Pension for their ongoing support of the club in general. Thank you to the filming company for putting on yet another show at the last minute, very, very lucky. Putting the show on at the last minute, about 20 minutes set up, incredible, well done to them, and thank you. And thank you to Ryan Vehicles for getting us all here safely as well. I'm off that brew, not a Welsh accent as someone said. I'm quite happy with my Yorkshire accent. I'm going to go grab a cup of tea. You guys do the same, flick over to iFollow. Reds will be kicking off in about 10 minutes time. All that's left for me to say is, come on you Reds! What a show! If you enjoyed it as much as we did, you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that bell icon so you can be notified about when we are next live here from Talk of the Town. Make sure you don't ever miss an episode, subscribe, hit the bell, and we will see you again very soon.